So congratulations, you finally have decided that you are going to live to be your authentic self. You are going to be the most powerful, true to yourself version that you could possibly be. There's only one problem. Now what? Exactly. You can make the decision to be your authentic self, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you know already who your authentic self is. Now, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think for a second on what you think your authentic self looks like. Did you get it? Did you have to pause the video? Do you have an idea from your head of what your authentic self is? Good. Now, get that idea out of your head, because it's not going to be right most of the time. Your authentic self is not going to come from here. It's going to come from this deep, deep pit all the way in the back of your belly, all the way at the bottom. There's a little voice that's going to be yelling out that you can just barely hear, and you kind of skip over it. That is your authentic self. Now, if you've been attempting to live to be your authentic self for some times, that voice gets louder and louder and louder, and you're able to make decisions from that place. But if you're making those decisions from here, it's not going to work out for you. So here's how we're going to do it, okay? First thing we did was we thought about what our authentic self might look like. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it's a guarantee that you're wrong. If you have done the work and you've already taken the message from your gut all the way up to your head, then there's a good chance you might be right. However, if this is your first foray into actually living authentically, most likely the thing that you've got up here is not exactly it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an analogy, okay? You might have thought up here, well, I want to ride horses. That's a good thing, but that's not quite exactly it. Now, when you think about it a little bit more, well, I really love animals. Okay, we're getting a little closer, we're getting warm. Now, we get down there and we think, well, boy, I would really like to own a horse, but my financial position, but where I live in the city, whatever the but might be. You're getting warmer. Now, when you get all the way down there, that little teeny tiny voice all the way in the back of the room that is screaming at you, and it is saying, I want to own a horse no matter what. That is your authentic self. That's your truth. All you got to do now is make it happen. When you live your life from that bottomless pit, okay? From the very bottom. When you live your life from there and you listen to those urges, you come into the vibration that will attract those things that you want. You will attract yourself, okay? When you are living from here, or you are negotiating with that voice because of life circumstances, you're going to get what you bargained for, basically, okay? Which, in case you guys haven't noticed, I've noticed it myself, it ain't exactly always what we want in the very end of the day, right? We kind of get what we want, but we really wish we would have had something else. So, instead of negotiating with yourself and negotiating with the universe, there's no need to do that. Listen to your gut. Listen to the voice that's all the way down there in the bottom. It might be really, really low. You might barely be able to hear it. There might be a lot of noise about your job and where you live and what your family's going to think, what your friends are going to think, and the reaction on social media. And there's going to be all those voices, but all the way down, deep inside, there's going to be a little voice is going to be saying, I don't really give a shit what all those people say. I want to do what I want to do. Now, once you're able to take that voice and get it up here through your throat, this is step 2, okay? This doesn't mean that you're immediately going to go yelling and screaming at it from the rooftops and say, I'm going to get a horse no matter what, and just kind of trample your way onto everybody and just get them the hell out of the way on your way to getting a horse. It's not exactly going to work that way. Just resonate with it. Sit with yourself in that vibration. Doesn't mean you have to go quit your job tomorrow and tell your boss, hey, look, it's been nice, but I'm going to move to Montana so I can buy a horse. It's not always going to work that way. If you have the money to do it, hey, more power to you. Go ahead and do it. But most of us aren't going to be in that position, right, to immediately, boom, turn on the light and get exactly what we want. So Go at it slowly, but the best way to do it is to just make sure that you recognize that all that other chatter, all the reasons why you can't have it, all the reasons why you don't have it, all the reasons why you shouldn't have it, all the reasons, all the things, all the reactions, all the voices that keep telling you no, maybe not, maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. No. Just block those out. Log them out. Get them out. Okay? Just push them right out the door. Okay? They're gone. Okay? Get to that point where every thought, every feeling, every action that you take is based upon your inner knowing of, I'm going to own a horse no matter what. Okay? And then you slowly start to verbalize that once you've lived it inside, once you feel like you are vibrating, okay, wanting to own a horse no matter what. Once you can feel that in your soul and you feel it and you're like, yes, I'm going to do this, then that's when you start broaching it in public. And then as you put those feelers out in the universe and you're living that vibration, guess what's going to happen? It might take a week, it might take 10 years, but at some point, you're going to own a horse no matter what. I guarantee it. I am living proof of this. It took me basically the better part of 25 years and way too many moves, way more than I'm ready to admit on camera. But in the end, I ended up exactly where I wanted to be, in a big house, by the water, with plenty of time to play with my dogs. And if you would have watched the path I took to get here, you would have laughed your ass off. There's no way that anybody in their right mind could say, I got where I am by doing what I did. It just would have never happened, with the exception of, I just got to that place where this is what I want. This is what I'm going to have. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care about what anybody else does. I don't care what's going on around me. I'm going to get what I want. And when you live in that vibration, you're going to get it. The only trick to it is the confidence that you feel around it, okay? This is the addendum I want to say. The confidence that you feel around it, the surety that you feel around it. Not everybody else is going to share that, okay? They're not all going to feel like, oh, he's just going to get what he wants, or she's going to get exactly. Okay, it might come off as arrogance to some people, because to some people, they're going to wonder, why the hell is this person so confident? They have no right to think they're going to own a horse. They can barely afford their rent. Why do they think they're going to own a horse? Forget about it. Block it out. They don't understand, but at the same point, don't push it. Okay, if somebody comes into your purview, into your life, that doesn't understand that that's your life and that's your motivation and that's what you want, you don't have to broom them out the door exactly, okay? But if they're going to be negative about the things that you want, those are the people you don't want to hang around with, okay? Find yourself a crew. Find yourself a tribe that resonates with and says, yeah, man, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I believe you're going to do it. And eventually it's going to be one of those people that believe in you that's going to be the mechanism by which the universe will deliver you to what you want. So that's all I had to say about that, all right? I know I got on my soapbox a little bit today, and I appreciate everybody that's been watching. Hey, look, anybody can tell you to be authentic to yourself, but what that means to each of us inside is going to be 100% different to you, to me, and to everybody else. Do not be afraid to show it. Do not be afraid to share it, but most importantly, before you show it and share it, live it and feel it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again in the next video.